Oh, thank you so much for staying with us. And thank you to Tim for sponsoring our show each and every week. You all know I talk about Bull Country Compost all the time. It is a wonderful, wonderful product. We use it in gardens and in flower beds. I use it even in the greenhouse. We have a planting bed that we plant vegetables in that we harvest throughout the winter for y'all at the indoor farmers market throughout the winter. We use it in that bed. So, it's nothing that is terribly odorsome. It can be used like that, but it is so wonderful for your soil. It's just a great, great product, and we are so blessed to have them in our local area. Well, we want to give you some updates on what is going on around us and in our community. So everyone knows that the Stark County Fair should be starting up soon, and actually it will be, but unfortunately most of you are not going to be able to really go to the fair unless you have someone in junior fair that's going to be showing their animals. So if you are a parent or a grandparent, you will get to go because the kids all got 6 wristbands, and you must have that wristband on when you get to the fairgrounds to be able to come in and watch your little one showing, or big one, showing their animals. But unfortunately, everyone can't go. But the fair does start on September 1st, which is less than 2 weeks away. So it's crazy that it's here so quickly, and it's crazy that it won't be a fair like we're used to, but we are going to make the best of having a junior fair. And if you would like to help the kids with their auction and maybe bid on an animal, or maybe just give some money to the kids to help them, because it is such a different fair this year, just we're not having the regular auctions where business people can come in to the auction. So we're doing this all online. So if you would like to help with the auction and help with the kids, you can go online to do that. It's juniorfairauctions.com. And you can find all of this information out on the Stark County Fairgrounds Facebook page. But it is Junior Fair, spelled out Junior Fair, auctions.com. And you can register and become a bidder, or like I said, just make a donation to the kids, and you can make it to a specific child or a specific club, but to really help the kids out that have worked so hard on their animals this year. And they're still going to be showing, like I said, but, not everyone gets to go and see the show. And then again, the auction, not like a normal auction. The auction will start on September 2nd and end September 4th. So you have that 48-hour period to bid on the animals and to make your donations. But we really hope and pray that you will take that into consideration and try to help out the kids. If you have further questions and you're not a Facebook person, you can give me a call, or you can give me a call about anything of your gardening questions as well at 330-455-5997. If you are on Facebook and you have questions or comments, you can message us privately at Anthony Petitti Organic Greenhouse, and just go to the message spot and then message us that way. Or you can email me, Cindy Petitti, that's CindyPetitti @gmail.com. Or better yet, come out to the store, ask your questions about your garden or your landscape, or maybe about helping out Junior Fair at 5828 Columbus Road, right there on the corner of Columbus Road and Broadway. Wanted to let you know also, mums are in. So if you are wanting to get rid of the petunias and get some mums planted, maybe your petunias aren't looking so well because of the heat and the drought and not getting watered correctly. The mums are in. We still don't have a lot of them blooming, but as these cooler nights are coming on, they will be blooming very, very shortly, I'm sure. But some beautiful colors. We're bringing them up from the back greenhouses all the time. So come on over and check out those. Also, at this time of the year, many of you are harvesting your tomatoes and you're getting ready to make your sauce or your salsas. And what better way to season them than with fresh herbs? So we have basil that is beautiful and ready to go in your spaghetti sauce or your pizza sauce, whatever you're canning there. And also we have cilantro, and some people put in parsley and thyme in their salsas. So we have all of those herbs. So fresh herbs are always going to make those wonderful things that you're canning and putting up for winter so much tastier if you have those. And we just have some beautiful, if you were on Facebook this week, you might have saw one of our posts about the basil. We posted some pictures. They're just beautiful basil this year. And we have those ready to go for you if you are in that stage of making those things. And we have a lot, so come on over and get everything that you need. I want to answer one more question about the flower that is blooming right now that's bright and bold and pink. And that's probably two different ones, but both in the same family, and they're in the hibiscus family. The hardy hibiscus, that is the perennial variety, that's the one that you'll cut off in the fall and it comes back up new every year. That is the big flat flower. That is the perennial hibiscus. They're blooming wonderfully right now, if you didn't know what those were. And also Rose of Sharon are blooming right now. Those are more of like a trumpet-shaped type flower. Just a beautiful plant. They do start very easily. So if you let your seed pods drop, you will have new ones popping up all over. Some people don't like them because of that, but it's a great little thing. Then you can uproot them and give them to your friends or make a hedge out of Rose of Sharon. Nothing prettier than that. But those things are all doing very, very well right now. But a couple more questions that we've had. What is this white stuff all over the leaves of my pumpkin plants? Well, they're not only on your pumpkin plants. Many of you are having it on your cucumber plants and your squashes. And this terrible disease is powdery mildew. We've talked about it over the summer a few times because the heat and the humidity makes powdery mildew grow and just expand. It seems like it just blow up in a couple days, and your plant, you have a beautiful green leaf, just a couple speckles of white on it, and then all of a sudden in 2 days it seems like the whole leaf is covered. Remember, when you are dealing with powdery mildew, copper fungicide is probably one of the best. Sulfur is good also, but if you have a bad case, you want to use copper or sulfur. Neem oil is not going to control it at that stage. Also, cutting off the leaves that are the worst is going to be good for you. Remember, you always want to sanitize your pruners between every single cut, and that leaf that is covered in powdery mildew, you do not want it to go into your compost pile. You want to put it in the trash or burn it or something. You do not want it to go into that compost pile, because the heat of your compost pile over the winter will keep that spore alive. And then if you use that compost in your garden next year, that spore will be there. So you want to make sure that you don't do that. Again, cleaning your pruners or your scissors, whatever you're cutting these leaves off with, is very important also, because you can travel the spore with your pruners. But also remember, most of the time we hold the leaf with one hand and our pruners are in the other hand, and then we cut it off. We sanitize our pruners, but remember to sanitize that hand that touched the leaf also, because that spore is on there as well. And when you move to the next leaf and you do the same thing, hold the leaf, trim it off, you're going to move and that spore might fall off of your hand and then go to another leaf, and then you continue to just travel this disease all over your plant, and you don't want to have that to deal with. So remember to have some, like the Sanidate is really good. You can spritz your pruners and spritz your hand all at the same time. As soon as you make the cut, the leaf can go into a bag that you're going to, like I said, put in the trash or burn, and then you can go ahead and get your plant cleaned up. This is going to be the same if you are trimming your tomatoes that might have powdery mildew also, which we have seen quite a bit of this year, or maybe even if you're getting some blight issues. Again, trimming every time can get some of that spore on your pruners, so you want to sanitize them in between every trim, and that's going to really help you keep things clean and stifle that disease in its place. I wanted to save the last couple minutes of our show and dedicate it to my late husband and our namesake, Anthony Petitti, which was really after his father. But Tony Jr. Was my husband, and 15 years ago on Thursday, if you don't know, he was in a boating accident, and I am so sorry. And in that accident, he became brain dead because he was underwater for 45 minutes. They did revive his heart. His heart started to beat, but they kept him on life support so that they could harvest his organs. And like I said earlier in the show, tomorrow will be 15 years since his actual passing. And our business has changed tremendously since Tony passed. We were basically a landscaping business, bought a greenhouse just 2 years before his passing, and that's where we are now. But things has changed. But, I know that God has a reason for everything that he does. And if you are struggling right now with the loss of a loved one, know that God will see you through, and just keep seeking his face. As you struggle through grief, it's not a bad thing. It just shows how much you love them. But you can move on with your life and probably have a ministry, like I swear I do, that I would have never had if my husband would have lived. And God knows what he's doing. And so many times, as a widow, we want to, or widower, we want someone to blame. And God knows what he's doing. And no matter how hard it is right now and how you're struggling, know that God is right by your side, and he is going to see you through. He has a purpose for your life after you lose your loved one. And hold on to that if you're struggling. I want to thank all of you for being with us today. We will be back with you next Saturday morning right here on The Light, 95.9 at 8 a.m. You have a blessed week.